Did you know Jesus defines Holy Spirit? In Mark chapter 13, verse 11, the yellow highlighted text that you see, Jesus teaches sometimes the words people say are not their own words. The words are from or by Holy Spirit. And in Matthew chapter 10, verse 20, Jesus teaches, Holy Spirit is our Father's word speaking from your mouth. Now I did some editing in the blue and green highlighting and the word in, and I had to add the word through because we have 4 examples of our Father's words. The first example, Luke chapter 1, verse 67, tells us when Zacharias declared John's the Baptist's life, these words had to be said by our Creator, for he prophesied John's life. The second example we have is Luke chapter 1, verse 41, when out of Elizabeth's mouth she declared Mary's son is blessed. These 2 verses prove their words were our Creator's words coming from their mouths. The third and fourth example are in Luke chapter 12, verse 12, and Matthew chapter 12, verse 28, where Jesus teaches our Creator's words will be said in their mind, and then they are to say his words. Other examples of our Creator's words coming to their mind are in the Hebrew text, where the prophets are being told to go out, and then our Creator will tell them what to say. Thus, Jesus teaches us there is no Trinity. All right. What I'm going to do is introduce you to the hidden format, the 4-verse format that's above my head, and then there is a 3-verse format that if it appears, I will explain that one. The text reveals itself. Oops, I think I gotta have the mouse on this side before, okay. The text reveals itself pretty much, but what happens is I use a comma and then a period, and these 2 make a sentence. So I call these a verse, I call this a sentence. And then it repeats itself, this comma, period, and this group right here, this group actually is a small paragraph. And then when you see it repeat again, then you'll see that these 2 together make a larger paragraph. So I designate this by putting a just 1 space here and 2 spaces here. And this is what I found in Ezekiel 4. So this is also a reminder for me, and also introducing you to the story of what I'm looking for. As you can see here, he's going to be laying on his side and showing that Israel, or the tribes of Judah, are going to be under siege. And I know this to be true because I already have that text done, and it is about Judah, even though they tried to say it was Israel was going to be under siege, and Israel is never under siege. So what I do here is I do a lot of mumbling, but I'm going through to explain the text, and I'm very good at this. I've been doing this for more than 30 years. So the goal here is to put all the first writer's formats together as one book, or the best I can, in the order that the text tells me where the text should be located in this complete book. Now I have many links in the YouTube side in the description, so if you go over there and look at my YouTube channel, you can see those links there, or go onto my channel and see the many videos that I have posted. All right, so I'm looking for a 4-verse format. I've been finding this is nothing really important, or kind of adding it in. Take a sharp sword, and it wouldn't be a sharp sword, it would be a knife. The swords are rather large, and they aren't really as sharp as a knife. They're made for battle, so they would be all dented up and things like that as well on the blade. So when I correct a word, I do this. Take a knife, so now we know it doesn't need to be the word sharp, and use it as a razor, and use it as a razor on your head and beard. Now, right now, as you can see, the description of the head is not it should be the hair on your head, on the hair of your head. And razor might not be the right word, it might be remove. But what I'm still seeing, I'm seeing a 3-verse format where this is becoming a statement and this becomes a part of a verse of a sentence, and these two together define what this statement is about. So if I get rid of this, because it really doesn't have any important words in it that I can say, take a sharp knife because your head, the word, I don't want to confuse people by saying, well, he used the word head and he didn't think the beard was part of on his head. So that's why I'm trying to make sure that the word defined as head is always going to be used as head. So on your, but this would have to be the word hairs. Your head. So I'm adding this word. I'm adding this word. I had to. This is our creator speaking this. Okay, if I change. Well, if I see here that if I was actually paying attention, if I put this here, then I can use these two words here. And let's say I change those on your head. And that would be the. Okay, so this is not needed anymore. Take a knife and use it to cut. Cut. And this has to be had toward the. Once I've started this with a macro word, I can't get back to it, so but I'm adding this, I'm removing this. Now, what I want to do is show you with the text here, or the Bible program, with the Bible program that I use. And this is the New American Standard text that I am using or starting from. And this is the concordance that they changed letters of the words to make it become their usable, how should I say, concordance. And down here, when I click on a word, these parentheses tells us how many times they used the word that's before that number, how many times. So what I was hoping to do is find the word like remove here, and I don't see that at all. Whoops. It's over here. I'm on razor. Okay, so that didn't help. So I have to say that I'm adding the word cut to the text. But I think it's within the shadow of the word, so I'm not going to say that I'm going to add it like I did this gray text here. So, no. Now you have an idea of how I do my editing, and I think you've seen enough of me now that I can put up, let's see, I'll put up Psalms on the side here. And these are the Psalms that I found about Jesus. So I will continue editing, and then you can take screenshots and read those later on your head. Now, these are words said by our Creator, so I use all capital lettering here. To say this is our Creator's words, and they're easier to spot when you're reading the text and understanding who is saying what words. Then get scales for weighing and divide the hairs. And divide the hair. So when he removes it all, it's called one hair. But when I'm talking about his beard and his hairs on his head, this will be hairs here. Then take and get. Then get scales for weighing and divide the hair. This is a statement. Then get scales for weighing to divide up the hair. But I put the word hairs here. Then get scales for weighing to divide up the hairs. Put them in the pile. I guess I can put the word S here to keep with what I'm saying, even though I know I just said it differently, but and you can see in these formats, I guess I forgot to mention that I use two major words to get a verse together. So you can see them here. Okay. Now this is the beginning. 1/3, and I'm doing this because with numbers, because the word one can be referred to an individual. So when you write the word one out in the search, you should be able to get all those meaning one person. And then when it gets to a number, it's describing a number of such a thing. 1/3, you will burn by fire. Burn by fire. At the center of the city. Now, you have to understand that this text is coming from the story above right here, where they're going to eat bread that is weighed out and drink water measured and by measure and in horror. So up here in the verses before this, he's going to make from bricks the city of Jerusalem like a siege. So what I had to do here was add the word bricks, because they had it as one brick. But the object is when he had to make up these other items here, I have it as 4 bricks representing the city as being walled in, and then building up the ramparts or the ramrods, battering rams all around it. So when it says in the center here, in the center of the bricks has to be. Okay. So that's the correct word. And I'm going to say I'm adding this word, but I want people to know that I'm replacing the word cities, because they have to understand the complete story. In 1/3, you'll burn by fire in the center of the bricks. Yes. Okay. Now when I do this, it does that crap, and I do that, get it right back. Okay. But I'm not certain how they're grouped yet, because this is the starting of it. So this should be the first group up there. And now I need a second group of 3. And this seems to be what it's going to be here. And above the story is he's going to have him lay on his side, and this is the representative of what he's showing of going on, of what's to take place. So above here, I had a number of days that he is supposed to be here. because he's going to put ropes on him that he cannot turn until you've completed the days of your siege. See, it doesn't have the length of time, so I think I put the time up here. Yeah, 3 days. So now if I get rid of the 3 here in this video and say just day, and then remove the word day or s for a day, and it really has to be a daylight. Have to add, our creator defines a day as night and daylight. Okay. So I want to make sure people understand this when they're reading, that he's assigned for a number of daylight. No, I have assigned you for you. And I don't need the word is anymore. For you a daylight. I have signed for you a daylight. Okay, so now that I've corrected that, I've got to go back and correct the other text. Sorry about that, but it comes up sometimes that I do have to right here. Now that's the text corrected again. I think this is the second or third time I've corrected this, second time at least. Now, let me get back to the text here. And 1/3 you'll burn with fire in the center of the bricks. And 1/3. So I needed the word and here to read smoothly. And 1/3 you will. I'm just trying to imagine this, and I'm not seeing it as how's he doing this? Okay, I guess that's what I should be saying. And that would be striking it on the ground from time to time. Now I'm also trying to think of it. What time is he going to do this? I guess when the crowd comes around him to be asked what he's doing. So I imagine he's doing this in front of the gate of our Creator's house. And across the gate on the other side of the road is the king's house, for the guards to notify the king what the prophets are saying. So he's out there on the road, he's laid down, he's put all this stuff there, and he's going to cut off his hair, and then he's doing this, all this there. So he's going to be striking and strike, and you will strike. I think I need 1/3. You will be striking it with your sword. And now we know prophets had swords. They carried swords around on their side. So just like that. And now this doesn't make sense. And around the bricks. So he puts 1/3 in the middle for it to burn up with fire. In the city of the this has to be the word then. Then 1/3 strike with your sword and around the bricks. Okay, so that's 2 verses to go together. Then 1/3 yeah, 1/3 I'm thinking toss into the wind. And I don't think there's going to be wind during the street unless our creator is going to do that on purpose for him to do that. And then 1/3 you will I'm going to put toss. Toss is spelled like this. Okay. And 1/3 you will toss up into us up into the wind. And I will unsheathe the sword behind them. That's wrong. This is wrong. Into your heaven. And that's where the birds fly, by the way, if you don't know the three heavens. This is into your heaven. Or the wind. Now I need the word scattered. Like that. Also take a few, a number of them, and bind them on the edge of your robe. Can't do that. We got 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. There's nothing left. So this has to be wrong. The ones that are scattered to the wind are going to be the captives. This is not. This is the prophecy is what he's doing already here. This has to be then. Then it has to be prophesy, because what they're seeing and prophesy. And prophecy, sigh. Not sure if this is the right way to use this word. Usually used as this. So what if I just, thus is this prophet, this, yes, this. Now, how does he start to talk though? Because he's doing this. This is prophecy. Prophesied. This is prophesied. Yeah. By our all right. I gotta cut this video and repost it. But What I just got done doing was this right here, showing you why I changed it from Title God to YV. I've edited this as saying that this will be Jerusalem, yet I have set it as an example, not the center, as an example to the kingdoms around it. Okay. But now they're rejecting the word my is right here. Rejecting my promise. I'm going to have to use it as a promise. And that what they're talking about, or what our Creator is talking to us about in the future at this time, is that they're rejecting Jesus as a way of to have a salvation of entering into heaven. The practice that I mentioned here of that king having a meditation practice to the female goddess, their practice is that they become a god. And then by becoming a god, they can, they have this self-repeatable proof that they end up witnessing that they exist after they exist on the earth. But our Creator is telling them that He's rejecting that promise, or that, not that promise, but that way of life to enter into a kingdom that He has promised since Abraham's time, that He'll make kings from him, and then one king will bless the whole world. So that's what they're rejecting here, and that's why the word promise is being used here. And I guess I don't need the word now, but they are rejecting my promise. That's this, because that's a statement. They're trying to tie statutes to ordinances, but it's about the promise. Here's rejected my promises. They are rejecting my commandments. If I put commandments here, okay, and that is the agreement that they have with our Creator since they went into the Sinai, the 12 commandments. But they are rejecting my commandments. Don't need this. Don't need this. And are against my statutes. Now, statutes are awfully important. Statutes are the highest commands He gave them, and that one is circumcision, one is how they make a priest to work in His house there, and also the statute of gathering around for the celebration of the passing over of their firstborn. Those are the three major statutes. So they're against them now. They're rejecting my commandments, and they are against my statutes. To reject my promise. To them. Or them. Has to be for. I just explained the difference. Then that way, they did not walk in my statutes. That's already been discussed. And then that. Wow, this did divide as right here, because that's the end of this. This is just repeating things that aren't already said, so it's not needed. This is one thing he's talking to him, and now this is like it's already happened and it hasn't happened. So he's already told him what he's going to do. He's already told him what these abominations are by rejecting him. Okay, I'm back. So let me get it set up here. But I guess you got why I use the two letters for our creator's name now. So this was wanting to go to a 4-verse format. I am against you. Execute thy judgment. On them. This is going to happen in the future. Let's see. I am against you. Judgment upon them. Yeah, this has got to be out, but I'm still not seeing whether it's 3 verse or 4 verse. I think it's going to be 4 verse. This is kind of telling me there's a 4 verse here. No, that has not been done, and that is to burn his house down and remove his house. So, what am I missing here? I forgot to check to make sure Twitch is still okay going. Okay, yeah, it's pretty accurate. It's pretty much live time. So, forgot to get rid of this. That's what I forgot to do. If I switch scenes, it'll start playing that intro again. So, yours. This has to be yours. So this has to. Oops. Meaning descendants. I'm not sure if this is really needed. Therefore, I don't really need this. This was declared by. No, he's already said this. So if he's already said this, I don't need this part. I guess if I use. I guess I'm going to say that I'm using our creator as the subject matter for the two main words, or two main subject words. I am, and then against you, and my judgments will be upon yours. Because of And this is harlotry. The word harlotry is a short word for meditating to have the female goddess in your mind. So turning away to another god is another word. Harlotry, where's the word? Where's the T? Okay. Spell, so let's see. Because of your harlotry. This is going to be one. This is going to be this. But is it a 3-verse or? Because these two make a good statement for a 3-verse. Oh, it's big decision time here too for this, because if this is just not true. Oh, I am against you, and my judgments will be upon yours because of your harlotry. Do among them. So we already have established who they are going to be. This is I'm making it a 3-verse. I will do among them what I have not done and will never do again. And that's the 3-verse. I will do among them what I have not done and will never do again. But this is a 3-verse, so I gotta make a note of this. Just like that. And this is not. It's this. Because this here, defile my. He doesn't need a sanctuary. This is his house. My house. Can you imagine that? People think our creator needs a sanctuary. Idiots. And yet you people probably just listen to that and gobble that word, like, oh, that's holy word. That was in the Bible. I read it. Every word in the Bible is true. Um, Now, this has already been done by the text above. But how do I continue here? Because he's already talking, so we don't need him talking here. So that is out. I'm going to take that out. Okay, now see, defile my house with all your idols. Well, with all your gods. And usually, what I do when I'm doing this, I try to make sure that it's not capital letters when our Creator speaks here. Surely because you have, it's almost like I need the word because, but it doesn't go here. All your gods. Seems like it's got to be used like this, so surely because you has to be on the other side of this. Surely because you have defiled my house with all your gods. So now that becomes a comma, and this becomes a period, and this becomes what our Creator is saying. Okay. And it is continuing from here. Why you'll never do it again. And it's because you have defiled my house with all your gods. Now, idols. Surely because you have defiled my house with all your idols. These two are going together, so this is the space here. This has to have a second part. Surely because you have defiled my house with all your idols and with all your harlotry. See, I've done that, so I can. That's been said before, so since I've said that before, I guess this shouldn't be used. Also doesn't. Therefore, let's see, this is 11. So if I come over here and I remember to the word therefore, yeah, it's not in there. The word also is. Likewise I will withdraw from you, likewise I will reject you. Just gonna get rid of this. So I added this. I may reject you and don't need this. That's the statement. Draw it. Take away. It's within the shadow of the words, so so these two have got to go together here. I put I here, get rid of this I, get the real I in here, and I will have no pity. This kind of like on them kind of puts this into the statement here. So this would have to be, and I'm missing, because he is going to spare some of them. That's the other third that he's tossed away. So this and this can be a third. Yours and yours. Third, yes. This would be Jesus. Now that becomes this. This now becomes this. Now this becomes the statement. Likewise, I reject you, and I will have no pity on yours. But I will spare a third of his. And that's what he does do. This is a repeat of what the text I've got above. He doesn't need to announce this. We know who he is. Now, this is what's going to happen. Let's see what moreover here is for 14. Not there, so I'll make the land your land. Your land, a desolation. This is really splitting up to be a good 3 verse 3. Not which, those surround you. This shows almost like it's got to have two. Or is it and? To those who surround you. those who surround you, and the eyes everyone passes by, who passes through. It. I just had to check to see if the word through or you was put in there. This I know I added, so to those who surround you and in the eyes of everyone who passes through it. Now make a desolate and make your land a desolation. Among the nations, it's actually races. It's many races going back and forth, traveling through there with their goods. So it's not nations. And I think I can get away with the rest of this. I want to change the word approach or reproach. I'll make your land a desolation and a reproach. I think I see a better word here than a reproach. A desolation and a taunting. A taunting. I'll do like that word better. A desolation for taunting. Okay. I'll make your land a desolation for taunting among the races. Your land a desolation for taunting among the races. In the eyes of everyone kind of has the word races already involved. I'll make your land a desolation for a taunting among the travelers, and to the surround, and to who surround you, and all eyes of everyone who passed through it. It's got to be better said than what I've got. Make your land a desolation for taunting. Desolation for taunting among the races. That sounds okay, but you don't understand that there's travelers that are going to go through here, so it's got to be among the travelers. And they will be among the nations. And they will be among the kingdoms. That's staying more true to the word nations. And this, if they're a desolation for taunting, for now make your land a desolation for taunting. This, what's bugging me is this and this connect together. So this needs to be placed above these two. Let me see if this is better read this way. Because here I will spare a third of his. As they are among the nations. I think that's how it needs to be said here. And what I want to do here is do verses. Okay, now as they are among the kingdoms, I'll make your land a desolation for taunting to those who surround you, and in the eyes of everyone who passes through it. That is a better way of saying what needs to be said, because the format just wasn't working. These two were connecting too good this way. So, okay. Now I find two more here. Everything seems to be okay. So it will be a reproach or battle. This is not needed. This has already been said. This is not true. So what I do have is some good text. Boy, for 16 verses, I spent almost 2 hours on it, and that usually does not happen in 16 verses. Usually that's a 26 verse. So let me see here. Come down here, put it here, get this cleaned up. And I realized that the verse that I thought was going to be not there, it looks like it's going to work without it. So get rid of this, get rid of this. Take a knife and use it. Cut the hairs on your head, then get scales for weighing to divide up the hairs. 1/3 will be burned by fire in the center of the bricks. Then 1/3, this should be 2. Then 1/3 you will strike it with your sword and around the bricks. Then 1/3 you will toss up into your heaven for the wind to scatter them. This needs to be 2. Then herald to the kings, this is prophesied by our Lord YHVH. This is what I'm saying was going to be grouped. This is 3 verse. How come I haven't noted that this is 3 verse when I'm working in 3 verses? That was stupid of me. One third, this will third, this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here, I guess. But what I've got is this is supposed to group together. Then this is supposed to be separated. Then it becomes 2. This will be Jerusalem, because then he's continuing what he's saying. And that's a type of writer style that they do this. I've seen that happen before when I've got 2 kind of separate subjects, but it's like the end and the beginning to tie the stories together. So We have got 2, then 1. And then this is going to be 2. And then it starts the 4 verse. No, this was the 3 verse here. So it came out pretty good as a 3 verse all the way through. That I was confused. Sorry about the confusion, but that text looks pretty good. And this now is like it is all one. And then they worked around it and added all the other stuff. But that is really good, because this is going to be connected to, oops, this is 4 verse, this is 3 verse. But this is describing what this is. And the bricks are continuing down there, even though it's going to be a 4 verse. This is going to be a different subject here. But those two are going to go together as one great big verse. So other than that, I will put this down here, and only 13 verses here. So words. Now this was the title Lord that I changed to the letters YHVH from, well, just to let you know that I'll be changing these as well. And I guess I'm going to do that right now for the rest of, I'm just going to go in here and do it like this. I can correct this and this as well. Words from Ivy. Green. There is no mountains in Israel. And this is now telling me now, why would he set his face towards the hills of Israel? That doesn't make any sense. He's got to be saying it to the people, not against a bunch of hills. So how does this? Words from Ivy came to me saying, declare to Israelis. Herald. This would be out. And I'm going to use this verse, go with this. So this needs to be grouped. Okay, words from Ivy came to me saying, Harold, to now, Israelis are the ones that are obeying our Creator. The ones against our Creator are known as Jews. Or that's how I'm referencing the words to be truthful here, and what their meaning is. It's got to be Israelis because that's is Harold to arise, listen to. Not listen to the word, but listen to the prophecy. Yeah, it's going to be the, which is very unusual. From our Lord YHVH. Yeah, don't need this here. This has already been said. This he doesn't talk to when he's talking to Israelis. Now, is this talking about Judah? Yeah, this is the tribes for Israel, but this is not what's going to happen. Yeah, this is going to be about the nation Israel here. Let me get my reference for that. It's just not going to be the Israelis. Just changing it to Israel. And then these I don't need because it's already been being said. Having a sword upon you. In the first personate, I am bringing swords. This doesn't need to be said. I am bringing swords. And it's not swords now. It has to be. I'm gonna be bringing an army against you. I am bringing an army to you to destroy your high places. To get closer to our Creator, they would put it at the top of the highest hill around, or to the highest house in the neighborhood onto their roofs. But I can't use high places at the same time. That have to be in a separate. I'm looking for two words to make these verses. Example, this and this, to make this verse. And I've got one here, and I only need one of these. So, to destroy your altars, I'm going to use altars. Your altars. and your land will become desolate. Now, this is a 3 verse. But this is a 4 verse. Boy, I've got a new towel over here, and I'm sitting in a lazy boy, so it's kind of like I have some towels that I use to keep it clean, but it's also better for the mouse to move against, and so it's more accurate when I'm using it. But that towel has been making it fall off all day long, so back to the other ones. Well, I can actually make this a 4 verse and get this because I need the introduction, I guess. So I need the regular letters. So if I put these two, what I'm trying to do is keep the text as original the way he would have wrote it. Come to me, Herald to Israel. I guess it'd be my prophecy. So I guess I got that wrong real quick. These do need to be his. Let's do my prophecy. I'm bringing an army. You need to have somebody who's going to do this to you to destroy your altars. Oh, I got to decide, and it's decision one right now is this got to be gone. And your incense altars will be smashed. That doesn't need to be there. That's got to be out. Altars are where they're they do a few things at their altars. And destroy your altars. And your plan will be killed in front of your idols. Before now's when I really need the word gods. Because that's what the altars are made for. They're different gods. Example, the planets are named after gods even today. So the thing here is they would have different altars for different gods. And your slain will be killed before your gods. Now this, if that's a 4-verse, that's a 4-verse. If this has already been said, slain will be killed. And I think I'm going to use these words here. And I will make your and I'll make them kill you before your gods. Okay, now that's better. Their bones don't get there. That's after many days that the bodies and the animals like this. So the bones don't appear. So that's kind of really too far off. This he's not going to do. He will lay their dead bodies. He's already saying where they're going to be at. This has already been said. This has already been said. Can I use these 2 verses? In all your cities become desolate And the dead bodies from the descendants from Israel. Now, this is the man Israel, or male Israel. Sorry about that. I'm not seeing how this is connecting together with any of these words here. The dead bodies of the descendants from Israel. Okay, I can't use any of this then. It's just not fitting. I tried. It's got to be the word for. All your cities. Oh, I can see that I can use this because this, what I'm getting rid of, has already been said, will become desolate. That would be, is it 4 verse here? Yeah, this is 4 verse. Okay, so this is the start. This has been said. This has been said. This is not needed. This has already been said. For all your cities will become desolate. For you to be brought it's got to be your end. Ending. It's got to be to removed forever. To cut down would be to be removed. to be removed forever. This has already been said. I don't think our Creator needs to brag about himself here. Oh, I'm thinking that's out. Is the word however existing here in chapter 6. Seven, 8, excuse me. No, it's not here. So I get rid of this word. Yet I will leave a remnant. Who have so I don't need this, I got it here. Escaped. Now, who have escaped means fled from. So it has to be the word fled. And I do have words that a prophet is talking about those that have fled from Israel to join Judah. So that's why the word fled is perfectly fits in. Swords. And I will leave a remnant who have escaped from their swords. To be among kingdoms, which would be the surrounding area, like the Chaldeans. They seem to play along with anybody that came through that was stronger than them, that they just, hey, we're siding with you guys, just don't kill us, we're with you now, we don't care who's our king, just let us live. So has to have the word S on the end. Among the kingdoms. After they are scattered. This is not when, but where. Where I scattered them. Then those of you who have escaped lived as captives. And that's carried as captives as here. So I'm trying to tie that here with, I guess I should make this my word. Then those of you who lived will remember me among the kingdom. They're going to be taken to one kingdom, Assyria. Will remember me. That kingdom. They will be carried, they will be taken as captives. Okay. How high I've been hurt. Yeah, a creator doesn't get hurt. That's just stupid. This has already been said and why it's been said. This is not needed because right here will remember me. So that is already done. This was not true. Clap your hands and stamp your foot, because all the evil of the... That's what you do when you get mad. Stomp your foot. You wouldn't clap your hand. Stomp your... With a sword. This is not true. He's already said what that's going to be. So I guess this is not truthful either. This has already been said. And this has already pretty much been said. So, all right. But the 3-verse story continues, from what I can tell here. Oops, did I get Ezekiel 6 in there? Yep. Yeah, it's only 12 verses. I must have. Anyways. Words from YV came to me saying, Herald to Israel, listen to my prophecy. I am bringing an army to you to destroy your altars, and I will make them kill you before your gods. For all your cities will become desolate, for you will be brought to your ending, to be removed forever. Yet I will leave a remnant who have fled their swords to be among the kingdoms where I scattered them. Then those of you who live will remember me among that kingdom. Of you who lived will remember me among that kingdom. That they were taken captives. So get rid of this and put this in. Among that kingdom, they were taken as captives. But this is a 4-verse. So let me go back and look at the text here and see. Get back here. I can correct that right now. Well, I can use the word they here. Get rid of they here. Take the words the were here. And I can leave them right there. Among that kingdom, they were taken captives. Okay. If I've got remember me here, I would need it like that word's here. And this is kind of what is truthfully being said here. For example, then they will remember. I am their Lord YV. The promise with the 12 commandments that he said in the Sinai, he said that if you don't obey these 12, he will send them away from him. So that is why they are sent into captivity. Then they will remember I am their Lord YV. And I did not say in vain. Yeah, the did past tense is being still corrected here. And I did not say in vain. Let me see here. Vain. Wow. Tried to cover up the mic so that didn't hear all of them, but okay, I'm going to leave the word vain there then. I did not say in vain. Now this has to be matched with what our Creator promised them. I did not say in vain, I would not cast them away me. It sure has the intent of what this is, disaster on them. So that's what I'm going to say as the last part of. Let's see, I'm going to save that, get rid of that, get ready for the start of that one. Put that here. That I corrected this, so this is all good. Then they will remember I am their Lord YV, and I did not say in vain I would not cast them away from me. There we go, folks. That's really good words today. And hopefully a little later today I add 2 more chapters to the story and getting closer.